Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Haziq Hilman bin Hassan. Okay, today I will explain on our introduction and team development that involve in our web application that we choose. Okay, as you can see on the slide, our group project had choose the web application named Tip Calculator, which is this application are used to calculate the tips that should we give for the waiter or waitress that serve us in any restaurant. Okay, this calculator can also calculate the amount that each person need to pay. For example, if we eat with our friends, for example for the student actually, it can calculate what the exactly amount that each person need to pay for their food. For example, if they eat like a buffet style, so it easy for them to calculate how much each person need to pay. Okay, this calculator can also calculate the suitable amount that we can pay depend on the waiter or the waitress service. And lastly, we noticed that this application are very reasonable and suitable for their PHP code based on their system. So it's look very interesting and easy to use. We noticed that only one developer, the name is Zhong Kai Liu, which is he's the only one developer for this web application. Okay, that's all for the explanation about the introduction and also the team development in this web application.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and hi, my name is Ahmad Daniel Arabin Abdullah Elias Muhammad. My matrix number CI190020. Okay, next is for software process model, which is our team agreed to choose waterfall model, which is in waterfall model we have requirements, design, implementation, verification, and maintenance. So the next slide is for waterfall model description, which is we have requirements, and the task or activity in requirements we used to do a system requirement documentation, which is we will discuss what to have in the system and how many person will involve to work on the system. And the work product is for data collection, which is we will record it in Microsoft Word. And the second one is a design, which is we will design system architecture by making a system case diagram by using Lucidchart application. Next, the third one is implementation, which is in this section we will making the tips calculator system. And the work product, of course, the tips calculator prototype. And the tool we will use is a PHP compiler, Visual Studio, and Phalange. And the fourth one is verification, which is the systematic discovery and debugging of the defects. And the work product is testing tips calculator. And the tool also the same like implementation, which is we will use PHP compiler, Visual Studio, and Phalange. And the last one is maintenance, which is we will modification of a software product after delivery to correct files to improve performance or other attributes we'll add. And for work products is analyze system bugs and issue. And the tool also the same. We'll use PHP compiler, Visual Studio, and Phalange. So that's all for me, and thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and salam sejahtera. My name is Faiz bin Abdul Hamid and my matric number is AI190201. Okay, now I will explain about the use case diagram. Okay, the user can calculate by which the tip total. Okay, user can calculate waiter or waitress reserve. Okay, after that, user can input or edit repeat the cost and also user can input or edit the bill total. Okay, Now, I will explain about description for the use case diagram. Okay, for the actor is the user. Okay, description, the user can track or their tip by calculate tip. They will get how much to pay bill with the tip. Okay, they can also calculate bill with the tip share. How much cost from bill total. So they can click on waiter or waitress, reserve and split the cost or insert how much they want to insert. Okay, next, data user have to insert bill total. User must click or how much does your waiter or waitress deserve, and the user need to click or insert how do you want to split the cost. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Anas bin Ablah. Today I want to continue presentation. Okay, my part is programming language. For programming language, for tip calculator web application that we use has 4 programming language, which is PHP, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And then we go to web application architecture. Now I explain about this diagram. For tip calculator web application consists of both and front end and the back end. The front end, also known as the client side, is everything that the user see and interact with inside their browser. The main purpose of the client side to collect data from user. It is written in variant of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Next, we have the backend, also known as the server side of the app. It is the part which is not accessible by user. It store and manipulate data. The backend process HTTP requests, which essentially fed the data such as text, image file, and others. Called for the by user. Unlike the front end, many languages like PHP, JavaScript, and others can be used right the back end of the web application. For example, bill amount and choose a tip percentage is on the client side, where the data is collected from the user. On the other hand, all the actions that are happening behind the scene, like the tip and total value, are the back end of our web application. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nuranisa and my metric number is AI190004. Here I will explain about issue and bugs. First, in these apps, it's only for dollar America. It cannot be a ringgit, cannot be a rupiah, or cannot be real, because this only one currency and we cannot change the currency. And the next, it will be more prominent or be more interesting if the calculate and reset button is there in the below of the calculation, so the user can see clearly the button of the calculate. And the next, this application cannot count the bill that runs into a billion, so there's just for a million or less than that, can more than the billion. And also, if the new user, there is no guide how to use these apps. And I think that's all for the issue and bugs. Thank you.
Conclusion for our web apps is First, based on our group findings, this web application is not complete and require a few work to improving the buff and the issue happen. Second, these web apps can give a benefit to user financial if they eat at any restaurant. The last one, for the long term outlook, we think these web apps need to be improved to sustain in future.